Warriors, welcome to another important video, my friends. If you haven't yet subscribed to this channel and hit the bell for all the notifications for my upcoming videos, please do. And in today's video, what I want to do is I want to share with you some very powerful counter questions. Yes, that's right, counter questions. Imagine this for a second. You're going about your day, everything's kind of going just fine, you're in a pleasant state, and then whammo, either a feeling or an idea arises, and next thing you know, you're caught up in it. You start catastrophizing, you start looking at people and going, hey, I can read your mind, when in fact we're not very good at it. And we start to fortune tell. We start to go, oh my goodness, you know, this is going to happen in the future, then that's going to happen. Next thing you know, we are caught up in a fear-based emotional state. And here's the truth. The more emotional you get around any idea, the less opportunity you give yourself to overturn that idea. So our job is to, as we go about our days, to become progressively more aware of the ideas that want to attach to emotions, okay? Because when we can get a hold of a specific self-sabotaging idea that wants to turn into an emotion so that you can take some kind of action or distraction, then what we can do in that moment is we can ask ourselves a counter question. And these questions are very powerful. I want you to use them every single day until you get to a point where you go, hey, idea, you know, thank you for the protection. Thank you for reminding me of what could take place, but, you know, I'm going to go in a different direction. So the first question or counter question that you can begin working with is, how often has this idea come true in my past? How often has this idea come true in my past? You know, anxiety sufferers do something very automatically. What they do is they overgeneralize. Right? They say, I always have anxiety attacks when I go to X. Or when I meet with Joe, he always criticizes me on this and that. But the truth is that you are overgeneralizing. These things don't happen always. They happened less than a handful of times, less than 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 times in your life. And what we can do through this question is we can go, oh my goodness, you know, that really hasn't taken place very often in my past. And because it hasn't, I don't have to overgeneralize, nor do I have to believe that this is going to come true. So the first question is, how often has this idea come true in my past, right? We are seeing beyond the idea. We are going beyond the anxiety. Counter question number 2 is, do I consciously believe this idea to be true, right? Do I consciously believe this idea to be true? Because an interesting thing happens as we go through the day, right? If our level of conscious awareness is high, it is very likely that we will move ourselves towards a neutral interpretation. Therefore, move ourselves towards a peaceful internal state. But if we are reactive, if we are unconscious, if we are not putting in the mental effort to become aware, then these ideas can drag us around all day, every single day. Next thing you know, we begin identifying with them. We're going, I am such an X. Well, no, you are not such an X. And you don't have to carry around the label of this anxiety disorder or that anxiety disorder. No. When you get diagnosed with an anxiety disorder, that's a starting point. That's not a label. You don't have to check in with it every single day to ask permission from it whether you can adopt change or do something new in your life. No, that decision is up to you. So the second question is, do I consciously believe this idea to be true? And if you give yourself a few moments, you're going to go, well, no, I really don't, right? Question number 3, or counter question number 3, is how is this idea trying to protect me? How is this idea trying to protect me? My friends, listen up. This counter question holds the key to everything. You know why? Because fear, self-sabotage, anger, hatred, all of these feelings that sometimes turn into emotions, and all of these ideas are there as a protective response. Your inner child has never seen the outside world. This subconscious mind has never seen the outside world. All it can do is go about its belief systems based on what it was told and what it experienced. So, if a fearful idea arises, you must go, hey, subconscious, hey, inner child, I can see how you're trying to protect me from taking too big a leap forward and placing myself in X experience. Or I can see how you're trying to prevent change so that you can keep my survival going. Thank you for the protection. Look at this, my friends. Look at this right now. How different is this response compared to a reactive response? It's night and day. Now, let me tell you something from experience and working with thousands of people through my programs. When you can build a better relationship with fear, what's going to happen is you are going to be brought towards a pleasant and inner peaceful emotional state as your default throughout the day. Anxiety no longer has to be the default. Something else will take its place. So a very, very powerful question. Let me tell you this one again. How is this idea trying to protect me? Very deep, right? Number 4. Is this idea mine? Is it even mine? Or did it come from someone or somewhere else? You know, many times we know a lot of things, but we don't understand what we know. So this question brings us to a place where we're going, I have this idea about myself. I have this idea about what I'm capable of. I have this idea about what my future reality will look like, but, keyword, but. Have I merged with someone? Have I unconsciously adopted these beliefs and these ideas from someone else? Heck, when I go through my day and I'm listening to these self-sabotaging ideas, whose voice is that? Is it one person in particular, their voice? Is it a group of people? Is it coming from a movie that I watched when I was a child? Is it coming based on this one experience that I had that was highly traumatic? Many of the ideas that we give so much respect to that turn into an emotion, that turn into a behavior, that turn into an identity are not ours. And if it's not ours, we don't have to own them or follow them. That is more than anxiety right there. That is more than anxiety. Let me repeat this counter question to fear. Is this idea mine, or did it come from someone or somewhere else? Powerful. Counter question number 5. What other idea has more potential to be true than this idea? What other idea has the potential to be more true than this idea, right? All of a sudden, what's happening is the scales are no longer tipped in favor of fear. The scales are no longer tipped in favor of how the world wants you to be. No, no, no. You're not following in the footsteps of anybody else. You're not keeping track and staying in line with the status quo or the herd that consistently likes to talk about their problems. No, no, no. What's happening here is you are giving respect and attention to a potentially different idea. And that different idea has more capability of being true than the catastrophic one. The only reason for the catastrophic idea is to keep you standing guard. Is to keep you standing guard. If I stand guard at every moment of every day, then my body constricts. And if my body constricts and my body and mind are constantly in communication, then I'm going to have like thoughts as my body is feeling. And if I have like thoughts, the inner child says, okay, they are protected. Remember, around your inner child, the inner child wants to keep you safe and it wants to keep you happy. But if it had to choose between the two, it's definitely going to choose safety over happiness, right? But when you counter those fearful ideas with these counter questions consistently, and you put, very important, you put your heart into it, then what's going to happen is you will have a different action that takes place after these counter questions. And my friends, let me tell you from experience, when these behaviors consistently change, tick, win, and it's different than how you used to live, which is small-minded, then you are becoming someone different. You are becoming nobody. And when you become nobody, there is no longer ego, and there's no longer preserving your reputation. So much anxiety comes from preserving our reputation, preserving our egos. But when we let go of that world, we become no one, and from no one we can become whoever we want to be. Right? That's that empty place, that positive empty place that you will be met with on this anxiety healing journey that I want to share with you. Very positive, very good stuff. So use these counter questions, my friends. And I want to leave you with these words. An idea is just an idea until we add more feelings and eventually emotion to it. No emotion, no momentum. This leads back to conscious awareness and inner peace. And that's what we want. We're looking for inner peace, and if we do the right things, we will be met with it. Did I mention that I love each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart? Do you know someone out there that's suffering? Please go ahead. Share this channel with them. Get them caught up on the latest videos, and let's help more people become more than anxiety. Warriors, if you have any other questions on the Inner Circle program, head on over here and begin your healing journey with me. Have a wonderful day because you deserve it.